John Smith. I'm sorry, Joel. I'm Joel Lozzi. In fact, let me do that again. The correct pronunciation of my name. I'm Joel Lozzi.
Barbara Lozzi.
Barbara and I's background is in the Catholic Church, and for many, many years. And it wasn't until 2010 that we came to the Lutheran Church. Well, as a kid going to the Catholic Church, my grandmother, I went to Catholic school as a kid, and my grandmother would take me again to church on Sunday where I heard the exact same sermon 6 days in a row. And the only thing I didn't understand was the ritual. Everything was a ritual. But you tend to accept it as a child because that's the way you were raised. But the more I read the Bible, the further away I grew from the Catholic Church.
I would say that was true too. I never understood church, primarily because, I wasn't taught to read the Bible, so I didn't understand what I heard at church. So it had no meaning to me. As a child, it was just taking me away from the things I wanted to do, and as an adult, it continued to be just an obligation that was ingrained in me. I have been going to church most of my life, but it was only after I found the personal relationship with God and the desire to know Him better that I started actually enjoying going to church and understanding its meaning and purpose and value. And Joel and I married in 2020, and Joel joined the church in that year. But I've been with our Redeemer since 2013. It was a period of time when Joel and I were separated and divorced, but the Lord reconciled us first to the Lord and then to each other, and having been reconciled and remarried is very much a part of our story. So it was, again, a time when Joel and I weren't living together, and I was searching for a church. I had moved to Irving, and I had visited a number of churches, and when I came here, it just felt like home. The pastor's wife at the time recognized that I was in need of a hug, I think. And she gave me that hug and prayed for me, and it was just my home from that point forward.
What does evangelism look like in 2022 in Irving, Texas to you?
Evangelism at its core is based on relationships. Everything from your friends, your family, your co-workers, people you meet on a daily basis. And these relationships provide an opportunity to tell your story, your testimony. Well, Barbara and I have family members that aren't Christian, and it's been our goal and our evangelism goal is to work with these folks, and it's one of the hardest, most difficult things that I've ever tried to do because your family knows you, or they knew you. Again, we continue to try and bring them into a relationship with Jesus Christ.
And for me, it also extends to the workplace, which is a little tricky sometimes, but I don't hesitate to share my faith in the workplace through simple comments of being blessed or saying I'll pray for someone, and then oftentimes that initiates the conversation that can lead to sharing the gospel. Those relationships don't have to be long-term or intimate in order to just be friendly and open a conversation with people. The Lord knows who's right for establishing relationships and hearing about His Word, and He often puts those people in our path. So we just have to be open and alert to that and be willing to talk to people. That might mean putting our cell phones down periodically.
I believe we need to build relationships and speak up. Basically, don't be silent.
It's a matter of gathering people together and talking, in my mind, and going to them as opposed to them expecting them to come to you. The world has changed a lot. People have changed a lot. The church has changed a lot. But we know that God has not changed. His Word has not changed. So we just have to change how we build those relationships and how we communicate with people that may not be of our same generation. And it's not easy, it's not comfortable, but it only takes one person saying the right thing to plant that seed, and you may never know what that seed does in that person.